Let's see what's up here. This might be optimal. I have been seeking to defend Talavel Castle as the request of a subscriber. A regular fellow comes by, said he had some difficulty with this castle, and then I had a recent comment as well, other people saying they have a hard time with this castle. Now, I have defended a castle similar to this a very long time ago for the Epic Siege series. It was part of the campaign. This is part of our little Aserai practice run, and I'm sort of using this as a mediocre army to complete some of these sieges of cities and castles I didn't get to. So we've got weak companions like this, and our army is a mix, right? We have a bunch of low-level troops like you might have in your army, and then of course we do have some high-level troops. All told, I would say probably half of our army is tier 4 or 5. So we'll do some upgrades here, as it looks like there's a huge Battanian force, and again, huge for early stage campaign, or I guess you might call this middle stage campaign. It might be 1,500 troops there. It actually, there's a Sturgeon force here as well. It looks like there's a bunch of small armies, so I can't tell exactly how many people are there. And of course, as you see here, Yuha has now hit level 30. This guy's been leveling incredibly fast. I think this campaign is less than 5 years in, time-wise. Maybe it just hit 5 years. So we'll see what's in here. 2,000 Battanians, and we have a little tiny garrison and a very small amount of militia. But we like that shit, right? Fuck it. Let's do it. As Bill Riley once said in his Rage video, fuck it, we'll do it live. We will do this episode live, and of course, at some point I will be streaming for you fellas, but for now, it's just narrating and playing these live. So they've got a siege tower on our right. And look at this interesting castle, right? You've got all these different walls where you can fire down on the enemy. It's a multi-tier castle. These are really well designed, historically accurate, I think, in many cases. Of course, it's surrounded by water as well. They've got ladders on the left. And we should be able to put up a good defense here. I'm not sure we can win with the mediocre army being outnumbered 4 to 1. Of course, most of our companions are pretty ghetto. We don't have anybody even approaching our other army. But we'll run, some of our normal strategies here. We'll put some guys. I think you can put some of the guys on the buildings here, and we'll see what we can do. So pardon me 30 seconds here while I configure this. I have learned to do this as part of Siege. Once you get going in a siege, right, you cannot change stuff. You cannot be like, oh shit, I need to move that division to the 5th. I got to move that captain. So I take a little extra time at the beginning. Indeed, we can set on the buildings here. I take a little bit extra at the time of at the beginning outlay here, just to kind of look at my units a little closer. Say, okay, those guys for some reason have archers mixed in there. Man, you don't want to start a siege that's vital to your campaign only to learn that a division you thought was infantry is full of archers. And you get all kinds of little anomalies with the system. So just going to equalize some units here, and then we'll come up with a coherent strategy. So Arwa, we are now married to Arwa. That will probably be the goal for the actual Aserai campaign as well. This is, by the way, this is just... I'm not continuing the practice campaign. In fact, I'll be taking a little break in between probably when you see this and when the actual campaign starts. But we married Arwa, and that's because, of course, our spouse was killed in combat. I do have the Death for All mod, which increases death about 10 times the rate of normal Bannerlord. And Anidha, that was her name, Anidha. She was killed. She gave birth to a couple children, and then she died in combat like a real badass gal. So here we'll try the 6th. This is my division. I mean by mine. It's controlled by Yuha. I'd love to be able to spread it up there. It's got a mix of skirmishers and archers. And these rooftops are a really valuable opponent. There we go. These rooftops are a really valuable component of this map, right? You can have these guys difficult to reach for the enemy. They actually have to climb that little ladder there the whole time they're being shot. Over here, this 8th Corps is also in a similar thing. I think there's no way up that one. I think you have to actually take a ladder down from the walls. Over here, let's see, the siege tower. I'd like to get a line of archers right here that'll fire down kind of behind the guys that are on the siege tower. Now, you guys know I don't like archers on the walls unless it's certain circumstances like this, right? These guys will have a little bit of cover. The enemy generally won't rush a bunch of archers over to the side of the map, and so those guys will have a little bit of protection from, enemy archers hammering them. There'll be some losses, I'm sure. And then once this map opens up, we'll defend this back with the 4th Corps. So the 1st, 2nd, 3rd at the main gate, the 4th defending back there. And these siege ladders, I'm not really sure. Now, I like this. I've done this before. Look at this. I can put guys right in between here, and those guys will now shoot both directions. They'll protect the front courtyard and give us crossfire protection for the back. I've got this little hole here, right? That little interior wall hole. We'll be defending that if the enemy starts bursting through the front here, right? There's a possibility we get overrun, and these are how these castles are designed. Now, there'd be a door here, or portcullis, I think they're called. A big metal grate you could slam. Let's get these fourth corps up on the walls. But the idea with this kind of a castle defense is that even if the enemy took over the first area, you would simply, reinforce your back lines here, and the enemy would have almost a whole nother castle siege after the first, right? These were nasty. This is pretty close to how castles were designed historically, right? They would have multiple. It's called a concentric ring defense, or a concentric castle layer of defense. So these guys getting shot, we'll try to spread them out a little bit, and then we'll have them stop. My 4th Division's getting in their way here. We got a little medieval traffic jam. These stupid fucks. Out of the way, fellas. We're trying to spread out our archers before they get shot to death. But that'll work now. And what I'm using the 4th Division back here for, of course, is protection from this siege tower. Eventually, the enemy's going to be pouring off at us onto the siege tower, and these guys back here, unless our units destroy it, there's a chance they destroy it. And part of me wants actually to make sure the siege tower arrives, which might seem very counterintuitive, and it would be if you were in a fight for your life. These are all just essentially skirmishes, right? What's a better word for it? These are all exhibitions. None of these battles matter. I'm not playing this campaign out anymore. I'm just using it right now as a save game for me to fiddle around with a few of these little we'll call these almost epic sieges, right? We're not going to go through every castle and city, but by request, I will defend certain locations to help you guys out, right? That's ultimately part of the reason the channel is here, to help you fellas, and I'm very happy to do so. Now, of course, we may fail at this keep siege, but if it's close at least, and we give the enemy a really severe licking, and they eventually do overcome us. In other words, if I feel like there's tactical usefulness to this episode, we'll still upload it. You got these dipshits missing with their fucking fire catapults, firing it right into the ground. So we'll have to rely on old manpower here. Yuha doesn't have nearly the tricep strength as Zuvan, previous character, but he can still chuck a few of these exploding bombs out there. Oh shit, unless he gets shot. God damn it. Stupid. That's a stupid part of the game. If you drop them, they just become useless. Alright, alas. We will go grab a couple more of these, but I think we're going to fire a lot of these down. I think there's the siege tower. It's almost over there. We're going to just fire a lot of these down here on these dipshits coming for the ladder. They're going to compact nicely for us on this ladder. Oh shit, I'm getting pounded. This is a thing, right? Especially against Botania in this situation. They're going to have lots of nasty archers. You really have to bob and weave. You got to keep moving. You can lose half your health in a split second. But the enemy's losing all of their health in a split second here as we just rain these fireballs down. I'm getting shot kind of in between my throws, but we are just raking this side, right? We just blew up like 100 troops. Shit. The Botanians are already on the wall here, so we might... I got a little bit of protection. I'd love to chuck this down on the troops in the gate, right? It's going to kill like 20 guys in there. And then I've got these other stones. But I've got to attend to business here, right? I've got to be a wise mama duck with their ducklings here and make sure that my units... aren't being overrun somewhere. In a castle defense like this, especially where you have a fair bit of micromanaging, a lot of people would say this is a huge amount of micromanaging. You've got to really watch your ducklings, right, to make sure that the fox isn't eating them all. All right, so check out what's going on over here. I can see it. I don't know if you guys can. The archers over there are being assaulted by infantry. So let's bring one of our infantry divisions, this 3rd Corps, and this is how this is designed, right? This is how I design my keep defenses. You have all these movable parts where you can just grab these infantrymen and say, come with me. Our archers are being attacked over on this other side here. Oh, I'm full. That's why I couldn't pick up that javelin. We got some javelins to throw here. But the point is now I can send these badasses into combat and really take some pressure off of these archers. Come with me, boys. There's some insolent Botanians here for you to get your axes soaked on. They're coming right behind me. Hurry up, boys. And as soon as they're up here in front of the enemy, oh shit, we're getting shot. And this is one of their lords. Slam him around. He's a dead man, right? We'll just tell these guys, kill him now. And he gets destroyed. We've got this posse of two-handed mofos. I like a 3rd division to be shock troops. We'll send the 2nd in just to attack down there, and all I'm doing with that is sort of plugging up the gate a little bit more. Those guys were skirmishers, and I didn't tell you. Oh shit, I'm breaking my keep here. Didn't tell you earlier, but those guys were on hold fire until the enemy got a bunch of troops in. Then I told them to unleash javelins. Now they're charging, and what that's going to do, of course, is it's going to plug that gate, at least for a little while. Just checking on my ducklings back here, right, using the same analogy. The 4th Corps, these guys I put there earlier, are doing a good job. They're killing people. They're still killing people with siege. Whoever's on that siege machine just did really, really nice work. It just killed like 40 guys. The front gate is thoroughly jammed up, so we'll keep that 2nd back in reserve division in case those guys still have javelins, right? We want those guys throwing javelins from safety. And we're just going to continue to sort of go to where the emergency is, right? That's kind of your job here. Maybe I'm custom suited for this because of my profession, right? I almost said past tense. I am a full-time firefighter. I'm at the very end of my career. I've got something like a year left. So it's starting to become past tense for me. Oh shit. I'm getting attacked here. And of course, this guy is not a badass fighter. Now he's capable, right? This guy's got like 250 one-handed. He's got like 230 athletics or something like that. But this is not Zuvan. I'm not just going to be able to cut through the whole enemy here. So I'm basically going to be able to show you fellas what you guys can do, right? If you're assailed in a castle like this guy was saying he's had a really hard time defending. Talavel Castle is what I call a cookie cutter model. There must be 5 to 10 castles like this in the game. You will experience, if not identical, virtually identical to this. Now look at this, right? So that 2nd division charging, I've got the 3rd following me for protection, and now I can just fire rocks down here. The enemy is thoroughly jammed up in the gate. I can't really see, so I'm trying not to fall through there. Of course, if you fall through here, you're usually dead. Either the fall distance kills you, or you fall right into the lap of very eager to kill you Battanians. But this is too good of an opportunity to pass up. Between our square and that 2nd division charging, the enemy is just totally traffic jammed in here, and we will find them for sitting on the highway without moving, right? We will kill a few dozen guys here before we move on. Whoops, I'm over here swinging my fist in the air. A couple more of these, and we will call it good, right? I mean, these are just really good opportunities for you. I just looked up at the power bar, though, and I think we're bashing the enemy so badly here that I don't even need to focus on the rocks. Actually, I wouldn't mind if the enemy presented a bit more of a challenge here. I don't mean to sound cocky, but we are just kind of trucking right through this enemy here. Don't worry, it's not a cheat code. I'm just activating the RTS mod occasionally. I'm learning to do this more and more in preparation for a real campaign. I don't want to waste your guys' time, and everybody has an extremely short attention span these days. I'm not making insults, I'm just saying the truth, right? So we're going to try to use the RTS mod when we're running a long distance or something like that, or at the end of battles. We'll just be speeding things up for you fellas. So you can see what's going on here. The 7th, that archer division, like I hoped, is protecting these guys at the back. The 4th Corps, this infantry division, is pounding the enemy. There's archers up there right next to the enemy that are firing down on the enemy outside the wall there. And just things are going really well. Now I've got this 2nd division, so we can do a multi-pronged attack, right? Now these guys are firing their javelins up at the enemy as our guys pull down the wall. And then, of course, anytime we want, we can just sick these 3rd guys on them again. This is a death trap, right? That's a death factory, as I like to call it. 2 different archer wings hammering them, javelins hitting them in the face, and shock troops attacking them, right? This is not a situation the enemy's going to be able to overcome. The archers on the walls here are absolutely scorching everything. And look, they're untouched. Nothing's getting close to those guys. This fella trying to defend Talavel Castle. Hopefully this gives you all the ingredients you need to take Battanian arms off. They can go flying through the air here. I mean, we're just doing whatever we want at this stage in this castle. We are commanding this like a conductor at an orchestra, right? This is a symphony of death. and the enemy has a front row seat. Everywhere I look, the enemy's being scalded and shot with arrows or javelins thrown into their face. These pathetic little low-level, this must be the end of the Battanian force here, charging forward with guys who look like they cut down axes during the day, and on the weekend they engage in siege. Wow, they're getting their shit pushed in hard in this episode. They're learning how difficult combat is against a competent commander. Get the fuck out of here, Woodrunner. And the death spam really says it all, right? We have a death factory. It's just a matter of how soon they rout. I'm shocked they haven't routed yet. I guess it's because Caladog is here. Caladog is the... I don't know what he's called. He's the clan leader or king or whatever of the Battanians. It's been, of course, forever since I encountered Caladog in an encounter like this. Like everybody else, I fought against him in my campaign. But you have to remember, the last time I played in a campaign at this stage of the map, that was like 2 years ago. It might even be more than 2 years ago. And I don't mean game time. I mean real time. It's been a long time since I've played a campaign in the early stages here. And obviously, things are a little bit disorienting for me. But the tactics are still the same. We're going to let all these wood chopping, what are they, highborn youth, come on in. We will flank them with our shock troops. Anytime I want, we can attack with this first division and just probably bum rush the enemy out of the keep. But we're just trying to fight this tactically and in a manner that's easy. If you remember, there's a sturgeon force outside this keep too. There's a very decent chance, we're at war with them too, that the sturgeons attack as well. So this may be, all right, everybody stop. I like to immediately make everybody stop because otherwise these fucking units will... Look at these archers, we're just immediately running up the stairs. It's like they lose their commander and all these guys are like, hey, it's Kool-Aid break. Let's go get, let's go get a lay from that barmaid and get some Kool-Aid. I like to restore law and order here so that these guys actually secure the win before they fucking celebrate. I mean, I'm looking up at the power bar. We could probably F1, F3 at this state, but I don't want a messy ending to this. I should have been a little bit more careful with Yuha, but alas, of course, I'm used to a godlike character in my main campaign. The same thing I was just talking about. For the last 2 years, I've been controlling Thor, or pick your god. Look at all the reinforcements just poured out like a wave on the enemy. I've been used to controlling this god Zuvan on the battlefield. Yuha is quite mortal compared to Zuvan. But the tactics are the same here. In this battle, it's a matter of time. There's a Battanian Fiend champ trying to come down this ladder while he's getting shot by 12 archers. That ain't going to work for him. I'm just kind of looking around to see what other levers I can pull to make things easier. Of course, we're using the RTS mod. That's why I was able to keep playing. Guys ask all the time, how do you get those nice bright green dots? That's the RTS mod. Of course, your ability to play other characters is the RTS mod, as is the ability to speed up the map. If you guys are either actually anybody really should have RTS. And what I mean by that, of course, I don't mean to offend you fellas, is there they go. Battanians have had enough. Anybody who can download it, you guys should definitely be getting the RTS mod, right? It makes the game easier, and I don't mean like a cheat code. Of course, you could use the overhead view like it's Rome Total War or something like that, but it makes the game faster, and of course it removes the AI from being in charge at the end of a battle, right? You don't want that to happen. You want to be in charge, and this is why, right? This guy cackles like he just got away with theft, and we leave a butchered Battanian force here. 1,700 we killed, and we lost, it looks like 240. So the good old 6-1, exceeding 6-1 KDR here. Caladog eats shit. Looks like Caladog didn't get a single kill. He probably got cut down by siege. Whoa, 55 points to athleticism. I just added a perk or two, what do they call, focus point or two to Yuha's athleticism. So he just gained, I guess he's going to wake up sore tomorrow, a lot more athletic. And the rest of our minor companions. I'm not going to waste your time showing you that stuff. But as you can see here, obviously a highly successful siege defense, and hopefully this gives you and those couple fellas who wanted to see a siege defense in this castle, hopefully this gives you guys some ideas, right? Hopefully it helps you defend these Vlandian castle models. They're right on the edge of Battanian territory, potentially Sturgeon territory, even Western Empire territory. Actually, even the Aserai territory. So this castle defense, these are the nicest arrows basically you can find. Legendary stacked bodkin arrows. Thanks. We'll take all of that. But hopefully this helps you fellas, right? Hopefully this episode is beneficial for you fellas. I appreciate you guys. Of course, please subscribe if you want to see more from our channel. Let's see what this Sturgeon Force does here. But I appreciate you fellas. Again, please like. That's the only thing I ask from you fellas. And I will talk to you friends next time. Well, see what these sturgeons do here. I'm going to share some troops just in case they do come in here. In fact, hold that thought. I know I gave my spiel already. I thought I had a sword. I want to upgrade a little bit of equipment, and then we'll see. I added that athleticism. I think we'll add those perks to this. And we'll see. They want some. All right. Nice. We like back-to-back battles here. We still have almost 400 defenders, and we'll have more once we heal here. Look at our numbers are rapidly going up, right, as we heal. And we'll add a little bit of... Let's see. Yeah, we'll add some athleticism here. So this has happened a couple, 3 times. Anybody wondering how do I keep gaining 50 athleticism? It's because I reloaded a save game. I had a battle and defense at Ortesia. We had a defense at Quayaz, and now we're defending Talavel Castle, all from the original save game. So we're kind of going back and forth in time. Again, these are just, oh shit, they just lost a bunch of troops. They had mercenaries just to ditch them. Maybe they heard about the results of the previous siege, and they're like, I'm not going in there. You guys are dumb as fuck for fucking sieging there. Why would you do that? 1750, all of a sudden. How do they have 1750? Oh, I guess they got more troops. 15. The numbers don't add up. 15, 16. Something's weird there. It looks like they have 1,600 troops. And it says 1750. I don't know. Call me perplexed. I have no idea why it looks like that, but it doesn't matter. They're sieging us here. So in we go again, another siege defense, and you're wondering what's my idea here. We're going to defend this castle differently. I've done this before in castle and city defenses. We are going to simulate a blowout at some point, right? We've got our inner courtyard here, but these castles are designed to be defended historically in multiple tiers, right? This is a concentric wall castle. You defend the outer wall, and when that outer wall gets blown out, you fall back to this one. And you have these upper areas that you can put troops on and benefit you. Now, I can't move units there because of that line, but we'll use these back walls here. We will fall back to this secondary wall here and have a whole different defense in this second episode. We'll see how it goes. Of course, our army's pretty beat up, so we may lose this defense as well. I know some of the guys love the suspense. Who knows how this goes, right? Although if you're watching it, you can count on it being an interesting battle. I almost never show where we just get completely overrun and destroyed because I don't want to waste your time, right? Everybody's experienced that, and you're not going to benefit from that. Now, that said, of course, we don't have a lot of sieges that go like that because we have this tool bag of tactics. All right, so some of these units, again, we're just tinkering with. They get kind of mixed up with infantry and whatnot. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have some of our units as a forward division, essentially somewhat sacrificial, right? We're going to position these units forward, and then we will try to pull them out, but I'm probably going to be effectively just accepting some casualties on the initial defense. In other words, just like a real castle, we're going to defend this outer area, and then we'll either simulate or an actual breach will happen where the enemy blows up our square and starts rampaging through. We will then pull back. So that's why I said this is going to be interesting. In fact, I actually prefer this kind of a castle siege defense because it's much more dynamic, right? It's a lot more tactics, a lot more thought process necessary for the commander. So the 4th Corps, just like before, the 4th Corps with an Archer Corps on this side over here should help them defend. I've got the 2nd Corps. The 6th can be in here as well, although they're kind of in the way. This front courtyard is really packed. It's tight. And so there's an argument to be made for just putting these guys back here and essentially preparing them to go up on these ramparts, right? We can eventually move troops up there. So get an archer division lined up over here. We'll use the 5th. Those guys have a captain that gives them decreased taken ranged attack damage. The 6th Corps here we can just spread out. I said loose, motherfuckers. Every once in a while, I have to chuck a javelin into the neck of a disobedient troops, right? We're going to rule by fear. Hold fire on the 2nd skirmishers here. The 3rd Division is is ready to go here. That's our shock attack dog division. Guys who've watched the channel on a regular basis, I know you guys know all this. Look at these guys. I didn't give you any order at all to leave your fucking post. Show me your fucking hall pass. Show me your chit that says you guys can go up there. You disobedient motherfuckers. Look at, they're like running all over the place. Where's this guy going? You heading over to the whiskey barrel? He's literally running over to the wall. So he'll definitely get some lashes later on here. We'll put these archers back and hopefully they obey me. Of course, you can't actually discipline your troops. Someone might want to put that fire out. It's burning on wood. The whole place would be like a conflagration. It's like wood and you know, dry grass. This thing would just instantly go up in flames. Out of my way. And so again, just like the first one, right? What I'm basically going to show you is what you would do optimally here. Boom, boom, boom. Right, so, and first one, sorry, that was a whole couple episodes ago. When you do castle siege defense like this, you definitely want to destroy these siege towers, but, and I know this is going to shock you, I'm going to purposefully let this siege tower arrive. Why? Because we want the challenge, right? This is an exhibition. This is not part of a campaign. And I want guys who have really difficult situations to be able to watch these episodes and see how to deal with the game on, so to speak, the hardest difficulty, right? So we're gaining levels here. And what we're going to do here is essentially let this siege tower arrive right here and let the enemy storm up here, right? I'm going to try to show you what I would do to defend this. Just like that first episode, right? We're going to watch our geese, watch our goslings to make sure they don't get eaten by the foxes. Our second division here is on hold fire because I want those guys conserving their javelins until we need them. Speed this up here a little bit again with that RTS mod. Let's see where these guys are progressing. So they're not yet to the ladder here. I got a little bit of time. In fact, is that a lord? It sure looks like a lord. Let's see if we can't drill her. But I want these sieges to be difficult, right? I'm purposefully letting that siege. Obviously, we could destroy that siege tower. Come on. There we go. Ate shit. Hit her in the arm and it killed her. Siga, eat shit. You know, we want the enemy here to have an advantage. They already have, what, 3 or 4 times their troops. But not only would it be, I think, relatively successful for us to defend like that first episode, and so you've already seen it. But I want to show you, you know, the different parts of siege, right? So we're going to show you a very different type of siege defense here on the hardest difficulties, so to speak. I mean, of course, we're playing Bannerlord difficulty. What I mean is the worst case scenario, right? The old saying, you want to prepare for the best, or to prepare for the worst and hope for the best, right? Well, we're gonna experience the worst here and see what we can do. We're gonna basically allow the enemy to pour in on us. These stairs are weird. Whoever built that should be slapped around. So I've got this archer corps here. They're going to be able to provide nice crossfire. And we'll see what the enemy does here, right? They're going to come off their siege tower. I don't know if they're going to charge the archers first here. But now that they have a siege tower, obviously the enemy has 3 different accesses to our castle defense here. Watching the main gate. These guys are paying me no attention, so we're going to do a little terrorism here. These guys are going to just let me blow up their guys. They're literally watching me. Are you going to actually say something? Oh, no. He's had enough, right? He's too lazy to chase me, so, you know, all his comrades and friends and whatnot, I'm going to fire some rocks down on his head. We open fire with the second down. That's the skirmishers. We will charge with the third. But I think I'm going to pull the third corps up here, right, or one of these divisions, because this is a problem. What the enemy's doing here is they're stacking up units for a charge, right? They're going to get 30, 40, 50 guys there, and what the enemy AI tries to do is overwhelm you by attacking you all at the same time. It's actually a good tactic. So you, as the enemy defending commander, or in this case, obviously the defending commander, you want to counter that, right? So 4th Corps is attacking over there. These archers are really crowded for some reason. Don't know how they got crowded like that. So we can try to spread them out. We'll just have some after me, and then you can tell them stop. And they spread out a little bit better. The 6th Corps is still there. These guys continue to stack up. So I think we're going to have to attack them, right? They're trying to mount, you know, stack up a bunch of troops there. So what do, right? I can't attack them. This guy's weak. So we call for help. Come here, big bad boys. Let's call this shock troop division, right? I like to call these like my emergency responders. The 2nd division can be told to charge here. That basically will plow the road for the 3rd Corps so they can arrive here. We have this archer corps shooting up here. And for some reason, this guy, what's he doing? He's doing some newfangled dance move. This guy, quick, someone get a camera so he can be on Facebook Reels or something. He's doing some kind of new shuffle. It's called the I'm stuck on a ladder shuffle. He's holding his flag there doing a shuffle. But this third court, right, these guys are coming up here. There's archers mixed in for some reason. These guys are going to be able to at least put a hold on the enemy pouring through here, right? You see, if we're going to defend this inner courtyard, I cannot have the enemy pouring through on this left side. Now, the right side, there's not an access. The only way to this back area is through that little door or this left side. So we're not going to let them, right? We're going to basically block it up just like it was the primary siege defense. Now, I can put the third core right here and try to pull the second up. That actually makes more sense to me. But I want to deal with that force there that's stacked up. This is a problem too. The enemy's got troops that have blown the doors off of this defense over here. So we can charge this 6th Corps. This is a mixed division, so all the infantry pour in here, right? And we'll be closing the gap here very quickly. The archers have nice crossfire over there. That division I just set there is firing away. Come help me out here. Where you going, Palace Defender? Get in there. Palace Defender, Palace Guard. You fellas know what I mean. All right, so we're going to do all of the same things that we would do on a primary keep now on this interior defense, right? As you can see, this was my plan, effectively have a controlled pullback to this stage of the keep. And then once the doors are kind of blocked, reasonably blocked, so the enemy's not pouring through, we will then start to... Jesus, I got a mob of troops surrounding me, a bunch of fucking fanboys. Okay, so the 3rd Corps is in shape there. That 2nd Corps, I gotta pull back for a square. 6th Corps, 7th. What I want is I want to break another archer division because I want some archers to my right here. I want crossfire. I hear all kinds of yelling. That's because they're blowing up the courtyard. Right, a lot of our troops, as they're retreating, are getting mauled. Jam this 2nd division just offset. That way our guys can shoot. These are the tenuous parts of this. Right now I'm doing this in a contrived manner, right? This is not, you would not do this normally. This division here is basically guarding this side, right? Because if the enemy pours through here and behind us, we're fucked, right? You can't have them having 4 accesses, right? They already have 3. They have the siege tower over there, or the siege ladder over there. And of course they have this door down here. Now this door is the main threat. Look at this guy. He's going up the ladder for no reason. What are you doing up there? Did you see a dinar or something fall to the ground? We're going to help our companion out here. They're zerging our companion. We got your back, buddy. You always got to protect your companions. So the 6th, let's spread these guys out more towards the center. When I get reinforcements, I'm going to have the ability to really start spreading archers out like I want to. I don't have as many archers right now as I want to really cause some major crossfire. Now, one of the dangers, of course, at this stage is there's nowhere to fall back to. Unfortunately, that interior keep is not really defendable. These guys are way too jammed up, so we're going to drag these guys into a better position. I do recognize that this is much harder than a regular siege defense for most players, right? There's a ton of micromanaging. I'm using thousands of hours of skill and experience to set this up. You have these guys stop. And now look at this crossfire, right? They're just firing arrows. There just a few too many guys there. There's 1 Battanian Fiend Champ there. Actually, we got a couple 3 Battanian Fiend Champs. This guy's got the best fucking room in the whole house. He can see everybody from his location. And as long as they don't burst that door there, we've got a death factory set up, right? This is a classic death factory. The enemy's slowly coming through on both different locations, and we have savage crossfire. Archer divisions over there on those walls. I've got extra archers behind here. Get some guys mixed in here. What I can essentially do is make this even harder, right? We can pull some guys back, let the enemy get effectively a quasi-breach, because frankly, these guys are just defending too well. You see archers set up in 3 different locations for crossfire. Here we go. This is more like it. The enemy's now starting to pour good troops. So we'll charge with this division. Oh shit! It came bubbling out of the ground. All right, so what we got here? We got a huge first division now. That's mostly infantry, though. Of course, we're down to the infantry. That's not good, but I still think we can make this work. Let's get the 8th. I want to get these 8th Corps set up on 2 different angles. There's 2 different crossbow divisions we can spread out. Now, they're all militia. These guys are pretty weak, but if 80 of them are shooting, you know, they do some good damage. So one of these will get spread out up here. Like I said before, I want this crossfire. We just put them in a big, long line. No, not kill them all. Okay, we gotta manually do it because the UI sucks. There we go. That should work. The gate is tenuous. That square is holding, but it's mostly militia. Now I have multiple divisions that can charge, right? This second looks solid. There's like high-level units in there, and they are holding their shields up, and they're getting crossfire. You can see the enemy shooting these guys from the side, or our allied forces are shooting the guys from the side. Now we're close to losing this gate. Let's pull this first into there a little bit better. Who can I charge here with? This 3rd Corps, we might have to charge with them. Let's get one more division for more crossfire on the stairs. Damn it. On the far side over there. The more crossfire you can have, the better. Because what happens if the enemy charges one of your crossfire divisions, one of your archer divisions, hopefully you have 3 divisions, 2 or 3 divisions somewhere else shooting the enemy while they're attacking your guys. Very similar concept to a kill box. This is just a kill box inside a citadel. All right, these siege ladders look largely unused. We'll have to keep an eye on them, but I can pull these guys up here, and then as soon as they're at a good distance here, we're going to have them stop. Basically, right about there. It's one more angle for guys to shoot at the enemy. So all these crossbow now with their weak little crossbow are firing away. These archers here are raking. Look at this Britannian Fianchamp. He doesn't have the best room in the house. Nobody can fuck with him. And he's just firing away. We don't have a lot of Fianchamps. I think we have 3 or something in our whole army. And that's purposeful, right? Well, it's not purposeful, really. It's just part of the campaign. You know, we're Aserai, for those wondering. So the gate is pretty bottled up, right? I mean, again, I can kind of intentionally loose it just to show you that we can recover from it. This 3rd Corps is here. I can put even more archers on this angle up here. And these are the kind of things, man, you just take a deep breath. You're just like, you know, we'll charge here with the 2nd, just blow the enemy off that side of the walls. Now the 2nd can be used in an auxiliary manner as well, right? Because there's no longer pressure on them. It's a little bit like chess, right? Once you clear a threat somewhere, you can now start using that unit somewhere else. If you could pin the enemy with 1 unit in chess, that's like one of the strongest strategies. The gate is being mangled. They're being absolutely mangled at the gate. To attack that square, they have to expose their backs, not just to these archers, but to units we charge with, right? Anytime those guys get their attention, we can just pull them back. The enemy is in the proverbial chess checkmate, right? They have a lot of troops still coming, right? I see Tier 4 still here. There's some Tier 2, though, as well. And this square, look how impervious this is, right? Granted, there's weak troops. I see militia. But at the front line, there's still some elite guys, and they're holding out nicely. Those archers are raking, crossfire. You can just see the bolts raining in. Can help our fellas out here. Enemies kind of sneaking through the cracks here, which is what we want. We don't want this episode to take 40 minutes. It's already kind of taken a surprisingly long time. I imagine a lot of guys closed out. Hopefully you guys are still enjoying this, right? This is still a very interesting siege. At times, you know, I know that my tenor and my cadence, it probably feels almost like I'm sleepwalking through these. I'm definitely, you know, I'm feeling some good stress here. It's good stress, though, because I feel like we've got this keep under control. Maybe for your entertainment purposes, the commentator, maybe I should be panicking more. All right, we need to get these 2nd Corps down here. The 7th, they look like they're okay. You know, obviously I could fake some of that stuff, but we just have such firm control over this city right now that I just feel like I could go. I mean, it's time to go visit the mistress, right? Like we've got the luxury of time here to go do what we want. These guys are still jousting with the enemy outside there, and I see some dead carcasses. Our guys are getting killed up here, but they don't really have a lot of archers. It's not a major threat. You know, and again, at this stage, I'm just the good Lord checking on his goslings, right? To make sure that we're not losing goslings left and right. I keep using that analogy, but I think it's accurate, right? When you're micromanaging the AI, You really do have to watch out for these guys to make sure they're not being blown out, because you're solely in charge, right? It's all you. And that's part of the satisfaction at this, right? When you're defending a keep like this, when you win, when you have a coherent plan, when you have a strategy that you come up with and it works, like this is working. Now, of course, we still may lose this siege, right? But it looks pretty good. I've got auxiliary divisions to charge anytime the enemy starts getting thick in there. I've got archers in 4 different locations just cross-firing. Even these guys, they're weak. They're militia, but these guys are just firing away almost every guy here anyways. And the enemy's in a bad place. They still have a lot of troops. Maybe I underestimated how many troops they have. This is a legitimate concern. I'm actually looking at our units starting to dwindle. And I'm looking at our little yellow bar up there starting to dwindle. This is not an acting job. I'm gonna get a little more precise here, right? We're gonna play this out professionally, because we don't want to lose this battle and look like a total dipshit at the end of this. You get a little hubris, like that snowboarder who did an ollie at the end of her run and got a silver instead of a gold. I don't remember her name. Most of you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, but it was in the Olympics like 25 years ago. You just YouTube, snowboarder does a trick and falls on her face, and you'll learn all about it. We're not going to do that here, right? We're going to observe and feel the tenor of this battle starting to change. We're going to start to fight with our men here, and we're going to secure victory today, right? We're going to consummate the deal here. We're not getting killed, fucking assholes. Get off me. Well, we still may get killed, but we're not going to fucking lose this siege. I just picked it up a level here. Start taking it a little bit more serious. I could use some help there, fellas. Nobody wants to shoot these guys. Somebody help me out. Okay, here we go. This is almost like this guy heard me. Thank you, dude. We'll make sure that you've got the nicest house in the castle. Look at him and I just mow this guy down together. Excellent. It's almost like the AI heard me. Someday we'll have that. All right, let's get this division charging as well. There's some palace guards in that division. We are getting low on troops. Maybe we have 80 troops now. It's starting to get messy. Well, if you guys hung out for a good siege, you've got one now, right? We are in a death match here at the end of this battle. It still looks like I think they just routed. Never mind, I got you all excited for no reason. I think they just routed. I can't really tell what's going on here. Half these guys are attacking me and half of them are routing. No shit. Kill these guys. Let's finish off this siege. I fucking slammed that guy with my shield to death. He went 70, 90. No, they're still charging in. Get back here. We're not losing this shit because we're getting hubris at the end of battle. We're fighting this out to the death. We're going to pile up a giant blue carpet here in front of this inner wall here. Let's go, boys. Let's fight this out. Charge. And finish the deal here. We've got this shit. It's underhand. It's in hand. Man, the enemy here is fighting like they're possessed. This siege's defense is over, and they're just pouring in. Like every single one of these guys has a death wish. They're chasing after guys. Guys are just going to fight to the last man, huh? Well, that's valiant, but it's futile. Over here, even the militia's getting some work. The Jarl likes some kills. Blood goes splattering everywhere. That's got to be it. Look at this. This is unreal. All right, let's get the militia in here. Let's finish these guys off with a little crossfire. 8th Division lined up on the side over here. This enemy just won't go away. All right, we're going to wrap this up, though. Anyways, if you like these little, we'll call these almost epic sieges. I'm not going to be able to do anything with this rock. Let's just chuck it. If you like these almost epic sieges, you want to see some more castle defense, you want to see siege defenses of cities or castles I have not defended, I am happy to do so, fellas. You just let me know when and where, and you know, and how much food and beer I should bring. Nah, I'm kidding. All things aside, though, this is a beautiful castle. That was a joy to defend, and it's fun to defend these multi-tiered sieges like that, right? That was a blast. I probably have way more fun playing these than you guys do watching, and of course, I appreciate you guys are enjoying watching, right? This channel's been very interesting to watch it grow. interesting to see how many tacticians are sort of hiding in the weeds out there, right? A lot of guys are tacticians and they didn't know it until they started doing tactics, right? We were down to our last 90 dudes here. What a badass defense this was, if I do say so myself, right? With a proverbial pat on the back. I meant mostly that was a fun siege. Obviously, we did some positive things there from our side. Not going to waste your time here. We will finish this episode off. Of course, you want to subscribe if you want to see more of this. We've got some nice golden bracers to put on our Jarl, or whatever, Sultan, or whatever you want to call him. And we're going to continue to just sort of fart around the margins of this, right? Part of the reason this is beneficial is that my main campaign, the Aserai campaign, will not be in the northwest corner of the map. It's going to be in the southeast. So these are castles that I'm not going to be involved with. That's another reason for me to kind of fart around over here. So with all that said, of course, you want to subscribe if you want to see more, friends. I appreciate you, fellas. Please hit that like button. I appreciate that more than anything. Actually, no, that's not that important, but please hit that button. And with all that said, fellas, I will see you guys next time.